Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. Ananyata Sukham Kalena Sarvatra Gavira Ramhasa. Thinking that like people work very hard, especially all the techies in Bangalore, they work so hard. Like Bhagavatam uses very names of four animals. I don't want to go into that direction. But what is the interesting thing is everyone works so hard, especially those who come from outside. I also came from Telangana. Most of the devotees here, I think hardly any localites will be there. So you see, by working very hard, we have to earn a lot. Like here, the flat cost is 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crores, 4 crores. There's everything in crores only. So you see, one has to work very hard. But these local people, without working very hard, already they had a land, and their property cost is very high. You see, what Bhagavatam says is it's very reflecting. Taseva heto prayateta govido na labhyate yad brahmata mukaryada. The purpose of human form of life is not to work very hard, because to search for something that is not available even within the three words. So what it is saying is anyhow, whatever distress is destined for you, are getting. No one asks the question. No one works for the distress. Similarly, without working for distress, I am getting distress. So similarly, what Bhagavatam is telling is, without working for happiness, I will get happiness. This is what it is, and this is what I could understand while coming. It appears like I crossed so many villages and came to a city. Like I remembered one more thing from Bhagavatam, the first canto, where Narad Muni, after giving up this Bhakti Vedantas, he goes all the way to Himalayas to search for Krishna, to perform devotional service. He crosses so many jungles in between Bangalore, within the Bangalore, to see such kind of empty place. I myself astonished to see, oh, that Krishna's creation is so vast. Still, even though so densely populated, still I think the Bangalore can expand so much, so much. Still, it can accommodate many people. Of course, I don't know how resources will be available. Already, water is a problem. So we can understand. So this is how Bhagavatam can be seen everywhere within our reality. So of course now, as soon as I entered, for the first time I have entered here IBC Sarjapur. I visited many IBCs also, but I see this is the most opulent Bhakti center. So that also reminds me of another verse. Sorry, I am not going yet. I am just sharing what is my observations. This is all interesting because Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam are connected to our lives. We can see everywhere, provided we have a vision. So, Bhogaishwarya Prasaktanam Kaya Parvita Chetasa. Bhagavad Gita says, one who has opulence, it's very difficult to perform devotional service. Devasayatmika buddhi samadhavana vidiyate. It's very difficult. But still, Prabhupada has used the principle of Yukta Vairagya, and then here, devotees. First question I asked, Prabhu, I only name is legal name, Shabarish Prabhu. What is your initial? Sacidananda. You have AC also here. We don't have AC in easiest level centers. So Krishna is kept in a most comfortable way to perform devotional service. I think so. This is, and one more interesting thing. As soon as I entered, I saw this looks like a mini temple. Really, it looks like mini temple. I felt, what is the need of any other temple also? So nicely organized and everything, opulence, nicely organized. Everything is there. Very interesting here. So you are all blessed. So we can use the opulence to render devotional service. But by such, opulence is the obstruction for devotional service. So another thing I saw, that becoming fearless. So one of the symptom when we practice Krishna consciousness properly, what do we get is the first quality which we get is, one of the first qualities we get is fearless. A devotee becomes fearless when he practices Krishna consciousness. We saw Narad Muni, Prahlad Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, so many are there. They've exhibited fearlessness. Contemporary, we have Russian devotees who were killed, who were tortured. If you have read the Salted Bread book, You will see that they also exhibited fearlessness. So many devotees like that. Yeah, coming back to our verse, I'm happy to be here once again. Um, this is one of the famous verses which we recite every day. Every day we recite because before reciting Bhagavatam, every devotee recite this verse. So, iha yasya hare dasya karmana manasa gira nikila swapi avastasu jivan muktasa uchate. So, we are all bound. We are all entangled. First, we need to understand this important principle that we are all bound. How am I Atma, I am the spirit soul, staying within this body, which is consists of gross body and subtle body. But that means I am Bandi, I am a prisoner. So now what this verse is saying, Ihayasya Hare Dasya Karmana Manasa Gira. One who those who serve the Lord, Hare, one who serves the Lord, Hare Dasya, one who desires to serve the Lord, one who serves the Lord, Ihayasya Hare Dasya. How to serve the Lord, there should be a means to serve the Lord. I cannot say I serve you, but don't do any physical action. No, that doesn't work. Hare Dasa Karmana by body, Manasa by mind, by speech. Karmana Manasa Gira. So Karmana Manasa Gira speech. Anyone who renders service to the Lord with in Telugu also we call Manasa Vacha Karmana. Here Shrupa Goswami used Karmana Manasa Gira. Nikilasvi apas Nikilasvi avi apas Jivan Muktasa Uchate. Anyone who renders devotional service with mind, with body, with speech. Actually, while staying in this material world, he can be called as Jivan Mukta, liberated. So, I was thinking that all of you gave me an opportunity to engage this speech in the service of the Lord. Generally, what is the nature of the speech? Like a long time back, I heard from His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj. He says, whenever get time, people, they speak on, go on speaking. Two activities they do, everyone. Like if you travel in the train also, you will understand. People only do these two things. Either nowadays, of course, they became another action. Another thing came, that is a mobile. Now no one speaks, everyone watches. Either speaks, or eats, go on eating. But Rupa Goswami is telling just by engaging the speech in the service of the Lord, we can become liberated. So this is a opportunity I've given him. So thank you so much for that. So similarly, I was talking about this Iha Isya Hare Dasa, Karmana Manasa Gira. We also wear 3 rounds to why do we wear 3 rounds? Just to reaffirm ourselves or remind ourselves to serve the Lord and His devotees by Manasa Vacha Karmana, by mind, by speech, by action. How do we serve by action? By cleaning the temple, by making a garland. So many other ways we can do by walking to the temple. So many other ways, washing the utensils of the Lord. So many ways. By mind, how do we serve the Lord? By remembering the Lord. And also important way is to serve the Lord by mind is by making plans to serve the Lord. You see, this is an interesting thing. Not only remembering, but making plans to serve the Lord. Like we all make plans. How should I progress in my career? Yesterday IIT results have come. So the students, they have planned a lot. The students, even I have planned a lot. What should be the this month I will read this. This month I will read this. This month I will read this. Like that, I have entire curriculum, and we read like that and evaluate ourselves also. So similarly, we have to plan for services in Krishna consciousness. Then mind will also be engaged. And then speech by glorifying Krishna, by telling others about the message of Krishna. So we also remain using these 3 things. And every day we also circumambulate Tulsi Maharani also. Minimum 3 times. Why? First round Manasa, second round Vacha, third round Karmana. If you are doing fourth round, by wealth, fifth round by energy, the sixth round, like for example, I'm saying, but minimum 3 rounds we do just to say ourselves that now I am committed to the Lord by my actions, by my speech, and everything like that. So, see, every day we do, like, of course, congregation meets only once in a week only, that too, many won't attend. But like the Prabhupada gave us some process. So many devotees have been practicing for so many years, but still they doesn't get bored. This is one thing Prabhupada says, that if you hear a feeling song, the same feeling song again and again and again and again, what will happen? You will become bored. Like, in Telangana, like I remember, like we were together, Andhra and Telangana. I remember, like one of the movie came. We know some people have watched one time, two times, three times, sometimes some people 7 times, 14 times. That's it. After that, no more film. But we are chanting Hare Krishna every day. We hear Bhagavatam every day. Why? Why it is so special? Because Krishna is ever fresh. Just like Krishna is ever fresh, Krishna's holy name, Krishna's message, and activities of Krishna are also ever fresh. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. Tadeva shashvan manasoham utsavam. Tadeva shoka navashoshanam runam yaduttama shloka yashonu giyate. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. That, what is that? The glorification of Krishna, Ramyam. Ramyam means attractive. Very, very attractive. Tadeva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Navam. Every day it appears fresh. Now you may say, I am not experiencing freshness. Don't worry, you will experience. But we have to work. See, nothing comes for free. If something is there in Bhagavatam, it doesn't come. I'll come to Bhagavatam session, but I will not put any effort. I will put ISKCON ka another name. You put from this year and goes from ISKCON se USKCON. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. You have to put endeavor. You have to put endeavor to understand, apply, also experience the message. That endeavor is required. If you are not putting endeavor, then what will happen? We cannot experience. But Krishna is ever fresh. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. It's not only that. Tadeva shashva manaso mahotsav. Festival. Like, no, here in Whitefield also we celebrate so many festivals. Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima. Just we are going to celebrate Narasimha Chaturdashi. So many festivals. Actually, in India also, not only within ISKCON, in India also there are so many celebrations. Like, being from Hindu traditional family, we see Sankranti, Dashara, Diwali, so many festivals. Why festival? Because festival brings joy. Because on the occasion of the festival, everyone comes together, there's an exchange. So here also it is said that discussing about Krishna, glorifying Krishna is also Tadeva Ramyam Ruchi. Tadeva Shashvan Manaso Mahotsavam. It's a great festival for the mind. It is not only that much. Tadeva Shoka Arnava Shoshanam Rinam. We are all like Shoka Arnava. Arnava means what? Ocean. Shoka Arnava means it's an ocean of misery. Everyone is miserable. Of course, those who are fortunate, those who realize that they are having a misery. Many people won't even acknowledge they are going through the misery. In our office, one of the things that comes like mental wellness sessions. Nowadays, psychological problems have increased a lot. So now that also has to happen secretly, because you cannot tell in public. Why? Because no one wants to acknowledge that I have a problem. But of course, whether you accept or not, everyone has a problem. Especially psychological problems are growing a lot. Tadeva shokarnava shoshanam runam. If you just come to Krishna consciousness, practice this message given by Srila Prabhupada, what will happen? All the miseries will go away. Okay? Tadeva shokarnava. Yaduttama shloka yashonu giyate. Just we have to glorify Krishna. This is a process that already Prabhupada has given. So we just have to follow the process. One of the elements which Prabhupada has given is discussing Bhagavatam. So we have recited Nityam Bhagavatam. It's not only on a weekend. Every day we have to study. So, but coming together on a weekend, discussing with the devotees will give an impetus, will give an interest. See, one who develops interest will naturally read. For example, I had an interest in mathematics. Whether someone asked me or not, I used to solve the problems. So similarly, one who develops interest in studying about Krishna, learning about Krishna, relishing about Krishna Katha, what will happen? Naturally, we show interest. Like yesterday, I went to one Bhakti Ruksha. I asked, how many of you read Bhagavad Gita full? Hardly anyone has lifted. I was saying, yeah, you've completed 2 years with us and you've not read Bhagavad Gita. What is the reason? Everyone says some reason. But what is the reason why they could not read or anyone could not read? Because no interest. There's no interest coming from reading Bhagavad Gita. Why no interest comes? Because we are not able to connect. We are not able to connect with the message. When we are able to connect with something, understand what will happen, naturally there is an interest. Like no, if you give a problem, mathematics problem, if a child likes it, then he asks for more problems because he likes it. But other child, he doesn't like mathematics at all. So what is it? I don't develop. I am not interested in this. Even though parents may push him for for attending school or college. So that means if we develop interest, for that what we have to do? Developing interest, even studying Srimad Bhagavatam comes when we come together and hear from devotees because they share their own experiences, realization, other wonderful message. So this is like as I mentioned, this is one of the famous verse. Every day we say Narayana Namaskrityam. See, there is a previous verse. Previous verse, what happened? The Sukadev was like no Suta Goswami. I hope all of you, many of the devotees, but most of you understand. I hope the how Bhagavatam started. I hope speakers would have told previously. But what I am telling you here, just before this verse, the Suta Goswami, like no, the Shaunakadi Rishis, they have asked 6 questions to Suta Goswami, and you see, as soon as the question is asked to Suta Goswami, he did not immediately answer. What is that he followed? He answered before answering. He first offered obeisance to his spiritual master Sukadev Goswami. Then he is offering obeisance to like no here Narayana, and then Naram Eva, who were there Narnarayan Rishi, and then third person Saraswati, and fourth Vyasadev. So you see, spirituality works in a little different material world. If you ask question, oh, immediately answer comes. So we'll discuss the mood of this verse also. So, like no, just like in ISKCON, Prabhupada started the same system. Every day we also follow the same system. Like no, for example, today we also recited Om Ajnana Timirandasya Ajnana Vinashalankeya. So you see, there is no qualification to sit. Like no, you are all sitting down and sitting up. So what qualification do I have to sit here? Hardly any qualification is there. But by the blessings of our parampara, we are trying to share some message. Actually, preaching is done by Prabhupada because we are discussing what Prabhupada has written. Of course, we add our own realization and experiences. So, like we also follow the same system. Before speaking, what do? We offer our prayers to spiritual master or entire parampara. If you have gone through this Bhagavad Gita introduction page carefully, Prabhupada read this Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. So, Anjana, Om Ajnana. Ajnana means ignorance. Ignorance is compared to Om Ajnana. Om means ignorance, Ajnana, darkness. Om Ajnana Timira Andasya. It is actually ignorance is compared to darkness. Why a person develops a disease? Because of ignorance of, like for example, many people now they are social activists are there. They are talking about health because of eating maida so much, these that so many items they talk about. So because of ignorance of how to maintain health, one follows certain food habits and then develops a disease. So similarly, why a living entity performs sin? Because of ignorance. So ignorance is compared to darkness. So Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya. So what is the duty of the spiritual master? Spiritual master, in ISKCON or in our parampara or in any Vaishnava, they doesn't do any jadoo, magic. We have in India so many bogus gurus, jadoo. Just by saying that, what will happen? Some gold will come, some ashes will come. We have so many such gurus are there. But actually, what is the role of a guru? Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Shalake. Anjan means, like, I have my daughter, like Subhadra, 3 years old. Every day we put that, black kajal. Especially previously, everyone, like, all Matatis used to put kajal. Even gopis put kajal. Rukmini Devi puts kajal. Andal, who is a great devotee of Ranganath, she puts kajal. So kajal. But what is the kajal Guru gives? He removes the ignorance, put the kajal of knowledge. Then what happens? Then you can see what happens when kajal is applied. Eyes become like little bigger. You can see. So when knowledge is given by a spiritual master, what will happen? Our eyes, which are filled with ignorance, we cannot see. Now also I cannot see. I am seeing that as a chair. I am seeing this Prabhu as a body. I am seeing this as some object, but I am not seeing Atma behind this Prabhu. But actually, who is this Prabhu? Is the Atma, is the living entity born in this body, but I am not able to see. But what is the role of Guru? Guru tells that he is actually, you are not this body, you are the spirit soul. Om Ajnana Jnananjana Shalakya. We give the knowledge. That's why every day we offer obeisances. Chakshur Unmilitam. My eyes are filled with darkness and he has opened my eyes. Chakshur Unmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And then we also say Sri Chaitanya Manu Vishnu. So we should not be like a parrot. When we are reciting the verses, we should not be like a parrot. Parrot also recites the verse. If you train the parrot, chant Rama, Rama, parrot also chants Rama, Rama. But it doesn't, it cannot understand the meaning. If you are doing something without understanding, it will not give 100% result. So what is Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam? Who wants to tell what does it mean? Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam. No one recites this prayer? Sadhu Sivan Prabhu can answer maybe. No one? You see, we recite these verses. Is it or not? Now I will come to one more verse. At least there is no exemption there. Okay. What is that Sri Chaitanya Manu Vishtam? Prabhu want to answer? So Prabhuji, yes. You see, we should not be like a parrot. That's what I'm trying to say. Today also Narayanam Namaskritam. Every day we sing, but we have to understand. Similarly, we sing Mangalarti prayers. Are we understanding them? What does it mean? If you understand, then you will relish. If you understand, you will relish. If you don't understand, relishment never come. Tadeva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Navam. The freshness which is there in the message, which is embedded, which is covered, you cannot decode it. You cannot unveil that freshness out of this message. That's why what is the endeavor you have to put? You have to put the endeavor to understand rather than understanding the mind of other colleague, other politician, other this person. Why don't we put our effort in understanding these words of a great devotees, Sutta Goswami, or our Prabhupada has given this prayer. Sri Chaitanya Mano Abhistam. So what is the Sri Chaitanya? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mano, mind. Abhistam, the desire. Sri Chaitanya Mano Abhistam. Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. Who has established the desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the Bhutale, on the earthly planet is that person. Who is that person? Sri Chaitanya Mano Abhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. Swayam Rupa. Who is that person? Rupa Goswami, Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam. When that person, Rupa Goswami, will give me shelter at his lotus feet. You see how wonderful it is? That means we are all called as Rupanugas. We are called as Rupanugas. We are requesting Rupa Goswami, saying that you have understood the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Can you tell me who can understand the desire of Lord? Impossible task. I cannot understand the desire of my wife only. I cannot understand the desire of any other person. What to speak of God? That means he has done a marvelous task of understanding the desire of the Lord. Who? Rupa Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam, and not only understood, he established. He has written so many books, Bhakti Rasananda Sindhu. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam. Then where we say that Rupa Goswami, when will he give me shelter? It is lotus feet. So we have like that so many prayers. Vandeham, Sri Guru, like that. But I'm going to ask this Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. So who will tell the this should everyone should tell the meaning of this. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Who will tell? Please explain, Mataji. Everyone, that is clear. That is the answer. Nama Om. But what does it mean? For example, what is your name, Mataji? Shruti Mataji. If I have to glorify Shruti Mataji, how shall I glorify Shruti Mataji? Shruti Mataji comes to Bhagavatam session every week without fail. Do you come, Mataji, every week? Very good. So Shruti Mataji, after Bhagavatam session, she does not take prasadam and go away. She stays back, cleans the temple hall, washes utensils, and also she goes for book distribution. She also preaches. She also takes only prasad. Are you taking only prasad, Mataji? Okay, sorry. So like that I should glorify, right? So now when you are glorifying Prabhupada, how to glorify Prabhupada? I am offering my obeisances to Prabhupada. Is it sufficient to say like that? Does that verse say like that only? But it is not there in that. Okay. But what Paschatya Desha Tarini has done? What did? Okay. Okay. Something you tried, Mataji, Shruti Mataji. Your Veda knowledge, Shruti means. What is that? Okay, where is it mentioned? Is it dear to Lord Krishna? Bhutale. Prabhuji also attempted. Anyone else? Please attempt. So you see, this is one, whether we recite other prayers or not, we recite this prayer or not. So Prabhupada said ISKCON is a spiritual institute. Don't feel shy. Like no, when for the first time, like no, Urmila Mataji gave me this explanation when I was in Vrindavan. Urmila Mataji explained this. And really to say, many devotees don't even inquire about what I am doing. That question, what I am doing, why I am doing. Bhagavatam is full of questions, Bhagavad Gita is full of questions. Do you think Arjuna is so crazy person? He doesn't know anything. Arjuna is already a pure devotee of the Lord, but he has so many questions. So we also have to ask questions. So okay, don't feel shy because ISKCON is a spiritual institute. This is meant to teach us what? Knowledge which can remove our ignorance. So if a child is shy, he can never ask question to teacher and he can never learn anything. So child has to be inquisitive to learn from teacher. Rather, teachers like those students, those who ask many questions. That means, what does it implies? That means this child is trying to understand process what the teacher is saying. Many students won't ask anything. That means either they did not understand or they understood fully. So you see, we are also offering prayers every day, but we don't ask the question, what is that I am doing? You know? Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. Om is address, Nama is offering obeisances. Vishnu Padaya. Vishnu Padaya has many meanings. Many meanings. But one meaning is one who is situated at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya, who is dear to Krishna. Bhutale on this earthly planetary system. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamini. What we are addressing with Srimate. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami, his name. Iti Namini. His name is called Bhakti Vedanta Swami. That's simple. But what did he do? Who is he? What is his identity? Namaste. I'm offering obeisances. Namaste. Saraswati Devi. Who is the Saraswati? It would, in this verse also Saraswati came. Now we are also saying Saraswati. Who is the Saraswati? Is a disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Like for example, Radha, let's say Radhe. Like no, here, Saraswati. Saraswati is the disciple of Saraswati. Who is that Saraswati? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Namaste Saraswati Devi. What did you do? Gauravani Pracharini. What did you do? Pracharan means what? He preached the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauravani Pracharini. And then, no matter this answer will come. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini. Paschatya Desha means what? Western countries. Very simple. Tarini. Tarini means what? Deliver. But what did he deliver? Paschatya Desha. He delivered from two misconceptions. What is that? Shunyavad. Nirvishesha means? Nirvishesha means impersonalism, also called as Mayavad. Shunyavad means voidism or Buddhism. Last week I was there in this Panathu. We were speaking about this voidism, Buddhism, all these topics. So then how Nirvishesha is Mayavad? How Nirvishesha is Mayavad? How Nirvishesha is no form? So you see, anyone would like to answer? How Nirvishesha is Mayavad or like impersonalism?
You would consider nobody is special. Nobody say it means nobody is special. Everybody is basically a form of knowledge. That's what I would consider.
Okay. So you're from Karnataka, Prabhu? Okay. In Telugu also we call Vishesha means special. But Vishesha also means it's variety. Actually Vishesha is variety. Nirvishesha, no variety. Variety means there is a variegatedness. Here you see what variety there, pictures are there, watch is there, AC is there, devotees are there, mats are there, variety. But Mayavad means no variety. Only ultimately Nirakar, formless, no variety, nothing. So Prabhupada has relieved these Western countries from these two misconceptions. Even now, these misconceptions are there. Either people say meditation. I will sit in meditation. What do? Make mind kali, free of everything. It's called voidism. Or you are God, I am God, everything is God. Ultimately, one can become God. This is called Mayavad. So Prabhupada has done wonderful service. Prabhupada, not only Prabhupada, the entire parampara. If you see Madhvacharya, he has like no, like every statement of like no, Sripad Shankaracharya is like no striked out and established Dvaitavad. So like that they have established. So coming to our verse, so this Narayana Namaskritya. Namaskritya means offering obeisance. So my request is please don't just do what you are doing, or even I should remind myself also, because there is a hidden treasure is there in each of the verses. When we are understanding what we will do, we will relish it. Then we will relish Prabhupada. Who is this Prabhupada? What he has done. Every day we can appreciate Prabhupada. You know? So this Narayanam Namaskritya. Namaskritya means what? Offering obeisances to whom? Narayana. Who is this Narayana? Who is this Narayana? Narayana means what? Narayana means Supreme Lord. Shruti Mataji answered. But what is Krishna? What is Krishna? Krishna is most attractive. Very nice, Prabhu. But what is Narayana? What is Narayana? You must have heard this name. Like in Kannada, there is one Kannada bhajan is there. Like I was hearing that Narayana. There's one bhajan. I don't know Kannada, so. But that Narayana name is used in that bhajan. So what is Narayana? Okay. So what is Narayana? Who sings this Narayana word? Narayana name? Narada. His name also starts with Narada. Interesting thing. So of course, Sanskrit, each word of the Sanskrit has the multiple meanings. For example, Atma also has many meanings. Atma means body. Atma means soul. Atma means mind. Atma means senses. In different contexts, the same thing. That's why Sripad Shankaracharya could establish from Vedas my doctrine. Otherwise, how is it possible? The same Vedic knowledge we are reading, but we came to the conclusion of personalism. Krishna is a person. But the same Vedas interpreted by Sripad Shankaracharya and established the ultimate truth as Nirvisheshavad. Krishna is not a person. So what is this Narayana? So if you read our Prabhupada books carefully, this word is also very good. Simple. When you know Narayana means Garbhodaksai Vishnu. You know what Garbhodaksai Vishnu is doing? He is sleeping on the water. So Nara plus Ayana. So this what is this Nara? It is actually that water, the water that is emanated from the body of Vishnu. So this water is also transcendental water. Anything that comes from the body of Lord or from the Lord is also transcendental. So Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji says, Yak karananavajale bhajati smayoga nidram ananta saroma kupa. From the this hair pores of Lord Mahavishnu, what comes? Entire unlimited universe. Just while he's sleeping, unlimited universes come, but in the form of a seed. But now, how the seed grows? Like for example, half cell of a mother, half cell of a father unites during the time of union, and then they mix. But whether that one cell can fructify by itself? No. For that one half cell union to fructify, Atma has to enter. Only when Atma enters that cell, what happens? The cell starts growing. Life comes from life. Life doesn't come from matter. So only when Atma enters that half cell combined one cell, then the cell starts growing. The cell division happens, cell multiplication happens, and eventually trillions of cells that gets formed. This is an amazing thing. Krishna has created an automation system that multiplies itself. We have I work for wireless semiconductors, so we have an automation to test all the wireless features. And now this is one of the buzzword, automation. That means it does everything by itself. But of course, automation has to be triggered by a living entity. Then only it automates. So similarly, only when the living entity enters that one cell, Atma enters, then it starts multiplying. So similarly, when the universe in the form of a seed comes out from the Mahavishnu, what happens? It doesn't grow immediately. It can't grow. Just like Atma is the source of energy for the body. So similarly, for the universe to grow, what has to happen? The Mahavishnu has to expand himself as Garbhodaksai Vishnu. Until the time Mahavishnu's Garbhodaksai Vishnu enters into the seed of that universe, the universe cannot grow. That's why Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodaksai Vishnu. But now in the universe, what is the diameter of our universe? What is the diameter of our universe? 4.3 billion miles. And that's why four-headed Brahma. Ours is the smallest universe we have. So half of that universe is filled with water. From where water came? From where water came? So in science also we have what is water? H2O. Hydrogen plus oxygen brings combination like water. Bangalore is suffering from water problem. We have oxygen everywhere, we have hydrogen everywhere. Why don't you combine and produce water? That we cannot do. As per chemistry, if you have to combine them, lot of energy consumption will happen to bring them together. But unlimited water is there even on this material world. Within the universe, also half of the universe is filled with water. So that water emanated from the body of Vishnu. That water is called Nara. Nara Ayana, one who takes rest on that water. After that water, what happens? The Shesha sleeps, and then he acts as a bed, and then Lord sleeps. That if you have visited Srirangam, Ranganath temple, Ranganath temple resembles this picture only. So this is called Narayan, one who rests on water, transcendental water Narayana. So it's already we have started late. What is the time? Till we should go till what time? Another 10 minutes. Okay, okay, another 10 minutes only. Late. That's fast. So how much time? 20 more minutes. Oh, good. That means I have a good time. So actually, we also need time to explain something. Hardly 45 minutes, 1 hour if you are coming, that is little less time. So yatra is a good time for learning. We are going from ACS level to Guruvayur. So Narayan. So Narayan also means many other things. Aggregate of the all the living entities. So, of course, Chaitanya Charitamrita talks about this Narayana, refuge of the living entities. So, one who oversees wandering of all living entities. Nara plus Ayana. Ayana means what? Movements. So, Krishna also oversees the movements of every living entity. What kind of movement he oversees? Krishna is there as a Paramatma. Paramatma knows what are we doing. Every step what we are doing, not only in this life, what have we done in our many lifetimes. So he knows everything, he observes what this living entity is planning to do. So we can never cheat. That's why he's also overseeing the um, wanderings of motion of the living entities. How he is going from one desire to another desire, from one body to another body. Everything he knows the record. So if you have to say in the modern terminology, Krishna is like a actually it's a wrong word, but I'm just giving it's a supercomputer, supercomputer, that much memory. But Krishna effortlessly remembers everything. Fourth chapter Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna asked this question, Krishna, you are of my age. How can you say you are saying this knowledge to Surya? Bahuni me viditani janmani tavacharjuna. Krishna says, both of us have taken many lifetimes. You forgot, I did not forget because I don't change my body. Krishna gives the logic. Why one doesn't forget? Because when one doesn't change the body, one can remember. We change the bodies, we forget. In this life also, we change our bodies. Dehinos minyata dehe kaumar. We change our bodies at every moment. As per science, 7 years, every 7 years, complete body is changed. So that's why we forget. Okay? So he oversees the wanderings of the living entities. Narayanam namaskrityam naramcha eva narottam. Who is this narottam? Who is this? Naranarayan Rishi. They are the best of the human beings. So both of them were twins. They were the sons of King, like no Dharma. So interesting thing is, just like our Lord Chaitanya, what did he do? Krishna said, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham kam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mahasucha. Krishna said this and he left this world. Of course, after that bit duration, he was there and he was there and then left. So, but after going back, Krishna was thinking, I have told everyone to surrender, but no one is surrendering. And they are unable to understand the process of surrendering. So that's why Krishna again came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For what? One of the external reason for appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is what? He wanted to teach how to perform devotional service to himself. This is crazy. He came to tell devotional service to himself. Like for example, it is like that. So now, like Prabhu has introduced me. So it is like that. I am coming. I am holding my mic and I am introducing myself. Of course, in the material world, we do. Our resume is like that only. I am this, I am that. But here we don't do like that. So here we don't do like that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did he do? Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to tell devotional service about himself. So similarly, Rishabdev has said one thing. You know Rishabdev, who is this Rishabdev? Rishabdev. Okay. You know Bharata, King Bharata? That who became a deer. The Bharata's father is actually Rishabdev. So Rishabdev has 100 sons and the eldest one is Bharata. So whatever Rishabdev has taught, to execute that, to show how to perform that, who came? Naranarayana Rishi have come. Just like to help us understand the Krishna's message. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to help us understand how to perform the message given by Rishabdev. Rishabdev came as what? Krishna came as Naranarayan Rishi. So that means what? Whatever message we are learning here, we have to take some action on the message. This is not some message like novel we hear and throw it. No. I have read one novel, imaginary novel. In novel, many novels generally have imaginary ideas. I read a novel which has an imaginary idea of traveling in the space, controlling everything in the space by sound. Of course, later when I came in touch with this one, yes, sound has a potency to control. Like no, we have Vashibhut, one of the potency, one of the Ashta Siddhis. Vashibhut, they can like control the other person by some mantra. The sound has the potency to control. So, but of course, later I realized, okay, that is also possible. So what Rishabdev taught, he came as Naranarayan Rishi to it. What is that he taught? Nayam Devo Deha Bhaja Kastan Kaman Arhate Vidbujane Tapo Divyam Putrakayena Sattvam Shuddhye Desmat Brahma Sokyam Anantam Nayam Devo Deha Bhajan Kastan Kaman Arhate Vidbujane. See, you have got a human form of life. He is telling to his children, of course, it is for all of us. You have got a human form of life. All of us also have got a human form of life. Nayam Deho Deha Bhajan Kashtan Kaman. See, in this human form of life, don't work like hogs and dogs for sense gratification. That's what he's telling. Kashtan Kaman, don't work very hard. Simply for sensual pleasure, which is even available in dogs and hogs. You may say like no, like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati has sent his disciple to foreign countries. You preach and then make them devotees. And one of the foreigner came to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati disciple and he asked, I want to become a Brahmana. Then this Prabhuji was a disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati told, you should not eat meat, no meat eating, no intoxication, no this, no gambling. He told the principles. Then he said, what else is there to do? That is the question. So now, these foreign countries like that, what else is there to do if I am not doing this? Of course, no, India and especially Bangalore, Delhi, and all the great cities are going towards that direction. What else is there? But Rishabdev is telling, human form of life is not for that purpose. Then what else I have to do? Tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam shuddhye desmat brahma sokyam tva anantam. One has to perform austerities. Tapaha in the human form of life, tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam shuddhye. What will happen if you are performing tapasya austerity? Shuddha, you will become purified of all contamination. Cheto dharpana marjanam. All contamination, you will become pure. Then what will happen if you become pure? Brahma Saukyam ka Anantam. Everyone is searching for happiness, but Rishabdev is giving a formula. You perform austerity and devotional service and you will become pure. By becoming pure, what will happen? You will experience happiness. Brahma Saukyam. How? Only little? No, Anantam. Unlimited. Like no, every day we recite the Shikshastakam. Anandambudi Vardhanam. It goes, happiness is not one drop, two drop. It's like a ocean and that ocean also overflowing. Have you seen any ocean overflowing? When it overflows, you will see tsunami. We don't see overflowing ocean. But here Krishna is telling, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling that happiness can be overflown. Anandambudi Vardhanam goes on increasing. So this principle he came to execute Naranarayan Rishi. Naranarayan Rishi even today they are performing austerities in Badrikashram to teach us how to perform devotional service. So now interesting thing is when they are teaching us how we should also perform devotional service. What is the austerity in devotional service? Waking up early, chanting our rounds attentively, preaching services. We have simple. Of course, the greatest austerity is staying with the devotees together. That is a difficult thing because everyone is the individual. Everyone has their own opinions, ideas. So when Naranarayan Rishi was performing this tapasya, Indra got, what happened? Indra understood, Array, he must be performing for snatching my Indra Loka, heavenly planet. Because anyone who is in power, immediate thing that will happen is that insecurity feeling of a position. Any person who is in a position, that insecurity feeling is there. Oh, what everyone is doing to throw me out of my position. You ask any minister, prime minister, anyone. So politics all about this one only. So Indra also got bewildered. He's thinking Naranarayan Rishi is also like an ordinary person. He's performing tapasya to snatch my heavenly planet. So he's the king of the heavenly planets. Immediately, what did he do? He sent. Because when one performs tapasya, what will happen? There will be some obstacles also. It's not a bed of roses or a walking on the rose flowers. There will be some obstacles. So Indra has sent damsels of heaven. So to disturb, just like he disturbed Vishwamitra, he thought I will also disturb Naranarayan Rishi also. And then what happened? Of course, Naranarayan Rishi smiled by seeing them. Who can disturb Naranarayan Rishi? Is the Krishna himself, is the incarnation of Krishna. Krishna's name is Madana Mohana. The Cupid, even he attracts the Cupid also. The Cupid attracts everyone, Cupid bewilders everyone. But Krishna is the Madana Mohan, he even enchants the Cupid. And now, if the ordinary damsel of heavenly planet, what she can do? So, of course, now when all of them came, they could not do anything for Naranarayan Rishi. They failed. And then what happened? Naranarayan Rishi smiled, and then they have asked, "Oh, my ashram, no one is there. You please come." Just like we are inviting people for Sunday fish. Please come, guest. Without a guest, what is the use of our temple or a bhakti center? And we need so many guests. We want to invite many guests. So he also invited you, come, guests. So for guests, what we will do, we will give something. Here we give prasadam, we give knowledge. So Narayana Rishi said, you came with apsaras, right? I will give you an apsara. And then immediately he has generated many beautiful apsaras from thigh of Naranarayan Rishi, and one of them is Urvashi. Then he asked Indra and others, you please choose whomever you want from this apsara. She will become the jewel of your apsaras. So and then they have chosen Urvashi, and then with shame, and then they left from there. So even great people like Indra is a great devotee, by the way, but he also gets bewildered because the position is like that. So what we are saying is Naranarayana has they have taught us how to perform devotional service, austerities in devotional service. While performing them, there may be some obstacles. We have to face them. So of course, and then that episode over, even Naranarayan Rishi performing devotional service, austerities, even today. And Naranarayan Rishi has taught this Bhagavatam to Narad Muni, and Narad Muni has taught Vyasadeva. So now the point comes, another personality, who is here? Narancheva Narottam, Devi Saraswati Vyasam. So when I read for the first time, whenever I heard the word Saraswati, because I am fond of studies, so I work so hard. So our worshipable deity is that Saraswati. Saraswati means the goddess of learning. Because if we worship her, what we will get? Knowledge, some marks, good marks. Even Vasanta Panchami day, many of the children in the schools, even today, even we are all progressing in atheism like anything, but still many schools perform worship of Saraswati on that day. So when I heard Saraswati means goddess of learning, even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, when I was reciting Namaste Saraswati Devi, initial day Saraswati means Saraswati, goddess of learning. I could not understand how Saraswati came into this prayer. Here also same thing. But Saraswati gives a material knowledge. But what kind of Saraswati? Suta Goswami is offering prayers. So I will give you a word. So who is Lord Shiva? Whether Lord Shiva is Shiva, who is the husband of Parvati, or Shiva is Krishna. Who is Shiva? Huh? This is a difficult question. Huh? So when we are saying Shiva means who is the husband of Parvati, Durga. But actually, everything comes from Krishna. Like what is the first shloka, first chapter, first canto of Bhagavatam says, Janmadhyasya yataha itaratas chate shavigna swarat. Janma adi yasya. Everything takes birth from Krishna. So even the names also comes from Krishna. Krishna means what? The Prabhu told all attractive. What is meant by Shiva? Shiva means huh? All auspicious, most auspicious. But who is most auspicious? Krishna. So there is a one quality out of the 64 qualities of Krishna, which is described in Rupa Goswami, described them in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is all auspicious. So that means Krishna's name is also Shiva. Actually, the name Shiva actually is given by Krishna to Lord Shiva. So similarly, the Saraswati means the Saraswati is referred here as the spiritual Saraswati. So you may say, what is this? No, actually, because the material, there are two Saraswatis. The goddess of learning, which we see here, she gives the material knowledge only. So, but what Sutta Goswami is offering prayer is, she is spiritual Saraswati. So, like no, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur quotes this thing: Vishnu Bhakti Swarupini, Vishnu Vakshastita, Murti Bene Rama Saraswati Jagan Mata. So he explains the position of Saraswati. So she is the spiritual Saraswati. Then who is she? So if you see, Krishna's energy has three categories. Of course, one category to divided into three categories. In South India, this category is famous: Neela Shakti, Sri Shakti, Bhu Shakti. Sri, Bhu, Neela. If you go to Sri Rangam also, you see that Lord Rangana is sitting with three of the like no queens. They are there in one of the deity. You can whenever you go, you can see that. Sri Shakti, Bhu Shakti, Neela Shakti. This Bhu Shakti is none other than Saraswati. She is the spiritual Saraswati. She blesses the spiritual knowledge. So that she comes in Bhagavatam also many times. Like for example, when Hiranyakashipu was chastising, scolding Lord Narsinghdev, and what is that spiritual Saraswati does? She converts that like no that chastisement into glorification of Krishna. Krishna hears only glories. Even that happened when Shishupala is doing that also. So like that. So she is the spiritual Saraswati. Of course, there is a pastime of the spiritual Saraswati with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Digvijay Pandit. That pastime is there, but we don't have time today. We will not be discussing that. But that she is there. And Vyasadev. Who is this Vyasadev? Vyasadev is the father of Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami is the spiritual master of Suta Goswami. So now that's why what I was telling is when Shaunakadi Rishis have asked the questions to Suta Goswami, he did not immediately reply. Rather, he offered obeisance. He remembered his spiritual master. He remembered Vyasadev, who is the compiler, author. He has remembered Saraswati. He remembered Naranarayan Rishi. He remembered Lord Narayana. So this is the way because Vyasadeva who has written that, but spiritual knowledge, like no, by one's own effort, one cannot understand. Like for example, the material consciousness is what prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. In the material world, the material consciousness is what I am the doer. I am doing this. Anything happens, I take the credit. I because I am the doer. I have that kind of consciousness. That is called material consciousness. But in the spiritual consciousness, I am not the doer alone. I am also the doer, but I am not the doer alone. That's why we have in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Tata Karta, Adhishtanam Tata Karta, Panchamam Daivam. That verse is there, which speaks about there are so many five factors are there. One of the factor is you, but ultimate factor is what? Krishna. So without Krishna's sanction, we cannot do anything. So that's why a devotee understands that I am not the doer alone. There are other doers, and the ultimate doer is Krishna. So, for example, why Suta Goswami has to speak like that? Has to seek the blessings. Like for example, I am speaking, but when I am speaking, Only when Krishna allows the power of my speech, like no, you can focus on that. It can penetrate into hearts. Even if it penetrates into heart, you cannot understand. So Krishna's mercy is there even when we are understanding something. When I'm speaking, Krishna has to allow the potency of the speech. Otherwise, if Krishna withdraws the power of the speech, what will happen? I cannot speak. So that's why a devotee understand I am not the doer. So he understand what is the knowledge I am giving. Because Sutta Goswami is sharing what Sukadeva Goswami has given. What he has given, what Vyasadeva has given. So we remembering parampara. I am just a mere instrument in this service, passing on this message. So they acknowledge. Material consciousness means no acknowledgement of the Lord or a devotee or any person. But Krishna consciousness is what? Acknowledging what we are receiving in every way, every possible way. So Prabhupada has written this bhajan. Like, if you have ever heard this bhajan, Boro Krupa, Koile Krishna, Adha Mera Prati. In that bhajan, this is like, with this we will close our discussion today. So, what he has written, this is a very nice thing, but this is a very interesting meaning. Akila Jagat Guru Bachana se Amar Alankrita Kori Bara Kamata Tohan. So he's saying, O spiritual master of the words, Prabhupada is glorifying Krishna. I can simply repeat your message. You see what Prabhupada has done miraculous service. He has changed the entire world. We have 800 centers of ISKCON all across the world. That's what Prabhupada. So he's saying, I can simply repeat your message. But if what he's telling you, see, so if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. So you see, what he's saying, if you like Krishna, you make my power of speaking. That means I am speaking. You may not be able to understand what I'm speaking also. That is also possible. But and Prabhupada went to the foreign country, Paschatya Desha, and is speaking to hippies. They doesn't have any understanding of Krishna, no understanding of Vedic culture, nothing. So now what he's saying, if you like Krishna, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. You see how Prabhupada is writing the bhajan. So he's showing that ultimately your mercy is required. I may speak, go on. So similarly, I may speak like this. But ultimately, when Krishna allows, then you will understand what I am speaking also. And then he says, Tava Krupa Hole Mura Kata Shuddha Have Shuniya Sabara Shoka Dukka Je Guchive. See, only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. You see? By the causeless mercy of Krishna only, whatever the words Prabhupada speak, that becomes pure. Even what I am speaking also. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, what will happen? They will certainly feel and gladdened and become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. And that's happened by the causeless mercy of the Lord when Prabhupada spoke. That message is so pure, it penetrated their hearts. Even though they did not know anything about Krishna, they started chanting, they shaved their heads, wearing saris. Even in India, especially in North India, our Matajis have difficulty in wearing. South Indians, so they will wear. But you see, foreigners wearing sari. This is what that means. Message penetrated into their hearts. How? By the causeless mercy of the Lord. So he's not taking credit that I can speak and I can penetrate my ideas into their heart and I can transform the people. So no, Krishna consciousness doesn't happen like that. So in everything, even we are preaching also, when I'm speaking, that power of speech that penetrates the heart of the hearer only when the mercy of the Lord is there. So this can help us to be humble. This can help us to be humble. So I am not the doer alone. That's why I need the blessings. I need to offer obeisances to our Guru, our Parampara. Guru means not only our Shiksha, Diksha, Guru, entire Parampara. And then to the Lord, I have not recited one verse, one day Ham Shri Guru. We are remembering Radharani, Lalita, Vishaka, Ashtasakis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, all the Goswamis. We are remembering Panchatattva, we are remembering everyone. So we remember them, take their blessings, and then speak this message. So this is a very important takeaway for us. So that what is the takeaway? In Krishna consciousness, if we actually have to glorify the Lord, deliver something that is not out of my own effort or my own endeavor, no, but actually by the causeless blessings, mercy of the Lord, that actually that message can penetrate. So now, by whose mercy this mission is going on? Actually, it is actually growing because of Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, I am there in my books. And we are seeing everyone comes, takes books, and then their life gets transformed. So it is who, actually, it is he. Srila Prabhupada is actually preaching, and we become an instrument. And in this way, we become an instrument in the service, and then please, Srila Prabhupada, thus please our Parampara. And one last thing, that when we are also entering into the temple, this is the same etiquette we follow. Because everything what we are doing in temple has a meaning. There's nothing random we are doing in a temple. Just like when I'm entering into the temple, I offer my obeisances to devotees in this temple, other devotees also, devotees. We'll offer Vaishnava Pranam, and then we directly don't jump to the praying to the Lord. We go to Srila Prabhupada, offer prayers, we are remembering him. And then we go and offer prayers to the obeisances to the Lord, and then seek blessing. So this is how spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness, so that actually we are indebted to all our parampara. By their mercy, blessings and mercy only, we are able to glorify, we are able to practice, and we are seeing transformation in our lives. So that's what. So this verse, the famous verse, in this verse, what is offering like no obeisances to Narayana, Naranarayan Rishi, Saraswati, Vyasadev. So, Prabhupada is ending. This may be followed by persons who aspire to be preachers of the Vedic literature and the Purana. So, this is the way all the preachers, Prabhupada is telling, all the preachers have to follow. Of course, we follow, but like many times you don't understand what we are doing. So yeah, Prabhupada is writing one more thing. The living being is in the state of forgetfulness. We are all forgetful of our relationship with Krishna, and books like Purana, like Srimad Bhagavatam, help us to re-establish our lost relationship with Krishna. That's why Bhagavatam is very, very special. So if we want to re-establish our connection, relationship with Krishna, we have to associate with Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. Just like Abhinatva Namanaminu, Krishna is not different from his holy name. Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. Krishna is Swadamo Bhagate. What will happen? Krishna came as Bhagavatam. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments? Okay, no question, no comments. At least one takeaway. What have you learned from this session? Anyone, any devotee wants to answer? We have Vaisheshika Prabhu. You know Vaisheshika Prabhu, who is the Prabhupada disciple. When I was